Yes, good morning. Hello, Trace. How are you this morning?
Hello, I'm fine, and you?
I'm good, thank you. Surprise! Guess where
I was going to
am?
say, you look very fancy. I feel like I'm on like the Oprah show today or something.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that looks amazing. Tell us where you are and what's going on.
So I'm literally in the church. Sean and Brendan and Dave and Jared and a whole bunch of people have been working really hard to kind of set up a little studio for us. It's actually really cool. So I'm literally sitting just in front of the church platform. And you can see that I have some styling and I've got candles.
Yeah, very cool.
It's really, really cool. So
oh, wow. I see.
Excited.
There's even 2 different camera angles. It's super impressive.
Yeah, you'll have to wait and see all of the action that's happening right here.
It looks really great. It's been nice this week. I think it's not going to be terribly wonderful today.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's since it's Father's Day, the weather's going to still be sunny, a little bit windy, but we're good to go. So yeah, to those who are already joining us online, Anshin, wishing everybody happy Father's Day, all the dads. Jean Marshall also online. Wonderful to see you, Jean. It's great to have you with us as usual right here on the link. So Trace, what are we talking about today?
Well, so firstly, it's Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the dads. So we're kind of going to be chatting about that a little bit. We're also we're in our series called Family Matters. And so we're still carrying on talking to families and just finding out a little bit more about them. One of the things that the series has been teaching us is how God uses imperfect families. And we've learned about God's faithfulness. And so those are some of the things we'll be chatting about today. So we have 2 very cool guests. We have Baloo Moorman with us today, and we have Polisa and Joko. So we're super excited to be chatting to them.
So Trace, I think we should probably head straight into one of those because I know Baloo can talk and I know Polisa can talk and I know that we can talk.
I was going to say, and we can. So between the 4 of us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Baloo, we're going to invite him onto the screen. Oh wow, that is special. Baloo needs to go. I'm not sure if he needs to go for a haircut or if he's just found a very cool hat. Oh, it's a cool hat. Okay. Are you keeping warm, Baloo?
I am. Thank you very much. I am. My ears are
good. That's awesome. Baloo, thank you for joining us today. We wanted to just chat a little bit and find out about you and your awesome family. So tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up as a kid.
Well, you mentioned just in your introduction about an imperfect family. And I suppose the thought that just went on mine matches that perfectly. I've got a perfect imperfect family. So actually mine's a story of having many families and many fathers and many mothers. For brief history is that I was up for adoption, and my mom decided not to put me up anymore, and so she kept me back or held on to me or kept me. And as a result, growing up in a single parent family, it was my mom and I and my grandfather. And so my grandfather played a big part. He was the original Baloo. I was named for him.
Oh, is his name really Baloo? Okay. So everyone, that's where Baloo's name comes from. It is actually Baloo, and it is from his granddad.
There we go. So then growing up, my mom working long hours and stuff like that, my aunt stepped in. And from a very young age, if I say young age, I'm talking like from 2-3 years old or something like that, she was looking after me every holiday. So, so there I had a new parent and a new family with 6 cousins growing up, and me being 8 years younger than the youngest one.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then at the age of 9, I was off to boarding school. So at boarding school, I got new parents and new people too. So by the time I was in the middle of going through boarding school, weekends I'd be at boarding school, holidays I'd be with my aunt, and in between I'd see my mom. And and then into seeing it's about Father's Day, I only met my dad that I can remember for the first time at the age of 7. And so then he
Wow.
came into my life at around about that stage. So yeah, I'm a product of many people's love and determination and heartache and personalities. And yeah, so it's been I wouldn't change it. It is my story, and I appreciate my story. So yeah, it's a very imperfect family.
Yeah, but it's, you have quite an extended family then, I think, which is awesome, and I think so often there's this idea that a family is a mom, a dad, 2 kids and a dog kind of thing, but actually, like, in reality, that's, for many people, that's not the case. And that doesn't make them any less of a family.
No, I agree. I think the biggest thing for me was, and it's not that I didn't feel, it's not that I didn't experience hardships. On the contrary, it's plagued with lots of problems and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But somehow, there were those people that chose to love me and to care for me and hold on to me. And I think that's what family is at the end. Is that hopefully each person is blessed and privileged enough to have someone at least that chooses them and says, listen, I want to hold on to you, I want to keep you. So that when the other people give their messages and they send their things and talk about whatever they have, that you have a rock, a pillar, someone to turn to go, hang on, it's okay. You're more than good enough for me.
Yeah.
Which is what I had, which was a blessing.
Yeah. So not growing up with a father and only meeting him for the first time at 7, how has that impacted your relationship with God as the Father? Because I know that you have a really good relationship with God, and so what has that journey looked like?
Well, I suppose it's got a lot to do with my personality in a sense, and which is I'm not someone that needs to have checks and balances in place for everything to work.
Yeah.
I can work in a bit of chaos. I can leave things unfinished and be okay with it, and then come back to it later and then try and tie up loose ends or whatever the case. So with that intro is, I didn't have a perfect, not that there should be, but I didn't have this example of what a father would have for my own life, but I had my uncles that I looked at. I had my grandfather that stepped in. So they were fathering figures. And I had, so then you would think, okay, but what's it like having a father? I didn't dwell on that. There were moments that I would ponder it, but it was definitely not something I would dwell at. And so when it came to having a relationship with Jesus, I quickly realized that the best way to have one was to kind of go, well, whether I had a father in real life that was there the whole time or not, even that relationship would be unique compared to what you would have with your father. In the days, each relationship was going to be unique. So there's kind of a template, but that template is not unique to a father-son or a father-daughter relationship or any. It's unique to all relationships.
Yeah.
So once I got to that point, I was like, okay, well, I suppose the best way to go about this is then just hack your way through and make your own unique relationship. So that's what I did. I just kind of carved my own little route out, figured out what I needed to do. So if the Bible said that God was loving and he was committed, then I would believe that. And then I would try and practice. So that's kind of how that kind of worked out. I didn't dwell too much on what it should look like, or it should mirror what I have in real life, or et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, that answers it.
Which I think is actually like some really good advice for people who find themselves in a similar position. Like, because as soon as we start thinking that God is like our imperfect fathers, the picture is distorted, because God is love, and like you say, he's committed, and we have to we figure that out when we're in relationship with him.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about you as a father. I love watching you and your boys. I think you have an amazing relationship with them. What does it mean to you to be a father?
Well, I suppose in that sense, that going back just to the previous question, that's the one thing that does come up is, what kind of father would I like to be?
Yeah.
And I think, in my profession and for who I am, I often believe in philosophies of thinking. So if I create a general philosophy about something, it will be then a driving factor and it will keep me focused. So then that's a question. What kind of father would I like to be? And then I don't answer that from the perspective of what do I want my kids to say about me.
Okay.
That's a small part. I want to be able to stand up at the end of this journey and goes, what do I say about myself? Was I did I meet my standards of being a father? So am I strict sometimes? Maybe a little bit, teeny bit much sometimes. Am I crazy sometimes?
Oh, most times.
Most times. Am I silly? Am I stupid? Am I committed? Am I loving? Yeah. I try to be all those things. So the kind of father I want to be is the one that doesn't take the hardest work in terms of effort.
Okay.
In terms of me thinking about it. My fatherhood experience mustn't come like, okay, what must I do next? It's going to be hard work. That I'm okay with. But from within me, it must spring forth naturally. And that's the one I choose. So if today I'm going to be strict because you're not fitting with what we have as a family dynamic or whatever, then, so yeah. But you sent me a question out, which beforehand, obviously, just to kind of help me out. And the one you got us is with traditions. Now, I've kind of prepped on the tradition one, believe it or not.
All right, okay, Baloo, you can answer that question now. What are some of the traditions you have as a family?
It's kind of linked into the previous question. Is what's our family about? And actually, traditions is actually strange enough something we try and do a lot. So, the biggest tradition we have in our family is our photo books.
Oh, that's so cool.
We started this in 2008, I think it is. We're now in about our 12th year. So what happens is each year we go back and we look at the year. We've taken photos and we put all our photos together. And so for the last 12 years, it's been a case of the purpose of the photo book is a byproduct has been a kind of a chronological, history of our family and what we do.
Yeah.
It's to show how blessed we are and to really remind us as a family, say, hang on, look what we do. Because up as you see is our map. That's a scratch. That's a scratch and reveal map. So every place we go and visit, we scratch off and we say, we document where we've been. And so the tradition is to get our kids and to understand that South Africa is an amazing place, but the world is even more amazing. When we traveled, that's when Anshu and I truly learned how insignificant we are. But a lot of our South African bias was shed.
Yeah.
We got to meet people from internationally, and we got to meet people from different cultures and that kind of stuff. So our tradition, a big part of us is trying to travel as much in South Africa, out, trying to get our kids to experience other people. One of our big dreams is we've done it once or twice in the township, but one of our big dreams, especially driven by Anshin, is to take our kids on outreaches with us one day.
Yeah.
So that's a bit of future one and current one. Other ones, traditions, is we try and be silly. We try and we try and have laughs and jokes and where we go. But a big one is bacon and egg. Oh my goodness. If Ruben will wake up every morning and ask for bacon and egg. And so he loves it. He loves it, loves it.
That is a good man.
So, yeah.
Can't go wrong with the bacon and egg.
You can't go wrong. And sometimes it's tiring that we just kind of have to say. So birthdays, we get up, it's breakfast in bed. We try and create rituals where we, so for example, on the last day of school, when it was still happening, on every last day of school, we was pizza nights.
Okay.
So all these things that we try and get the kids to
look forward to.
Rituals, yeah, because we believe that that's one day what they're going to be speaking about is remembering, what happened. And like on their birthdays, we try and find a coffee shop that's open at 6:30 in the morning, and off we go and have bacon and egg at a coffee shop.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, but no, the photo book is kind of encapsulates our family, and it's our kind of main kind of tradition in our family is to we trudge through, go look through all the photos, and then we just kind of reflect on how blessed we are as a family.
Oh, that's a really, really cool idea. And Baloo, I have so many more questions, but we're also out of time. Oh, guys, that's what Baloo really looks like, just in case you were wondering. But thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been really interesting chatting to you.
And can I just say one more thing?
Of course.
I'd just like to say, I know my boys are watching right now. They're well-mannered boys. To all the single girls out there, my boys are very well-mannered. They might not have lots of money, but their parents are reasonable and responsible people. So please, just hold on. If you're looking for a boyfriend, in about a couple of years' time, they will be available and ready to be.
Billy,
Love you,
call
boys.
them.
Thanks, Trace.
Thanks, Billy.
So Trace, we've had some fun comments. Andrew Binning wanted to know, so who is that Tracy's interviewing? So funny. But it's great to hear from Adrian in the UK. She said this Father's Day, we want to take time to honor the men who show up, who love, who mentor, and who care. That is really special. From Margaret, good morning. Blessed Father's Day to all the dads and granddads. May you have a fun-filled, spoiled day. Plenty of Father's Day wishes coming through on our chat. So yes, to the dads, happy Father's Day. It really is wonderful to celebrate you today. So as Tracy mentioned, we're going to be chatting to Polisa this morning as well. Polisa is one of our elders, and we're going to chat just a little bit about family with her as well. So Polisa, won't you join me on screen? There she comes.
Good morning.
Ooh, good morning. Can I just start off by saying I love the pink lipstick. Polisa, you always look so gorgeous. I tell you, it's wonderful. But thank you for joining us on the link this morning. How are you?
Well, make me look cute.
So, Polisa, we're chatting about family. We're chatting about family matters, and we just really thought that it would be great to get your perspective of a little bit. Well, maybe not necessarily perspective, but some of your stories around family. And so my first question for you this morning is, tell me a little bit about growing up. What was it like growing up in your family?
It was crazy, but with lots and lots of love.
Yes.
We are a family of 4 siblings, 2 guys and 2 girls. So, and my sister and I are just a year apart. So she was always my best friend.
Sure.
And also growing up, I remember that we used to envy people whose parents were not as involved in their businesses our parents were, because my mom for the longest time was a grade 1 teacher. I was sub-A teacher at the time. So she was always home, at 2 o'clock when you leave and get home, 30 minutes later, she would be home. And we would be like, why can't she be a nurse? And come back at 7:30 in the evening. And on school holidays, she was home, and she was always on our business. Have you done your homework? Not that I got into trouble. I was always, I loved reading. I still do. So my siblings used to get into a lot of trouble for that. And she would be like, bring your books. And I used to think that she had superpowers, because when I was I was in high school, and I was the only one who did commercial subjects, right? So she would say, bring your books. Are you done with your homework? And then she would look at the books, and then she would be like, you didn't finish this one. And I would wonder, how does she see? How does she know that I'm not done? Because in my mind,
maybe as a mom now, you know how she knows.
You know what? In my mind, I'm like, you're teaching sub-A. How can you look at standard 9 accounting and see that I'm not done? But I mean, hey, I'm a mom now, so I can't tell the tricks in case my kids are watching.
Right, indeed.
So
Polisa,
it was
tell
a
me,
crazy family.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about maybe, do you have any family traditions, things that you do that come, do you have special celebrations or maybe there are 1 or 2 traditions you
now
have?
or growing up?
No, I think I'd like to know about now.
Okay, now the one thing that I started that I just love is, my kids know, and everyone who knows me well know this about me. I am, what do you call it? I'm an ambivert, I think. I come across as like, but I love my space.
Yes.
You know, so also the one thing that I started in my family is I always like to check up on them emotionally. Emotionally, if you are my child, you must be able to articulate how you feel. That to me is crucial because I come across a lot of people who hurt, but and then they like sulk, and then they not sure if they are sulking because they are sad or they are disappointed or they are angry.
Yeah.
You need to articulate them so you can get to the bottom of it. So my kids will tell you, you are given, like I've got this thing where I give you space. I give you 2 hours to sulk and then get over it. Getting over it doesn't mean that you over what happened, but you dealing with it, but then you come back. Because as a family, I remember I used to sulk a lot, and my mom would say, the whole family does not revolve around you. Get a hold of yourself, you know, like you need to go there and come back. So it teaches the kids to know that it's fine to melt down, but you need to know that you can't stay there forever. You need to, So the other thing that I love, beginning of every year, I set a date a few days before schools open. I set a date and a time, and then the kids must write down their goals for the year.
Oh.
So I've got a huge mat in my room. So we sit on that mat, and each child reads out to all of us not dreams, goals. We don't talk dreams in the Nojogo household, we talk goals. Because if you just dream, you'll dream forever. You have to put it down on a piece of paper and say, this is my goal for 2020, and these are the things I think I need to achieve this goal.
That's really good.
So then we chip in, you know, the other siblings chip in on how we think you can get this done and whatever. And then I choose a scripture reading that will carry us through the whole year. Sometimes I change the scripture reading every term because I do that once a year. And then I do that beginning of each term.
Okay.
To see where we are in terms of trying to get to your goal. So we sit and each child prays for their goals and their brother and sister's goals like that in a circle. And then I finish off with like, lastly, just pray over and submitting to God all our goals and everything. And that is something that I wish and pray that my kids will take and because it wasn't done to me. My mom used to just pray when and read the First Corinthians every time we fought. So
that's also not a bad thing.
Just like pray in general, but to me, I try to be very specific.
That's so good.
Those are the two that I think I love.
Yeah. Polisa, just one more question. I think we haven't got time for a whole lot more, but one more question, and it's really related to kind of Father's Day and how, maybe I can ask you, how have you experienced Father God in your life? Like, what does Father God mean to you?
I really, really battle with God as a father.
Yeah.
Because I have a very strained relationship with my father.
Yeah.
Up till this day. So I have to consciously be aware that I am not speaking to God, my earthly father. That I am speaking to God, the God who loves me more than anything. And I battle to get that. The God, my protector. I battle to, you know, it doesn't come easy. Like with people who had, like, I think my dad is amazing. I still think he does. It's just that we don't understand each other. And so with people whose relationships are easy with their father and everything is like, I'm sure it comes easy, but to me, it doesn't come easy. But he has taught me, God the Father has taught me to really lean on him, you know, and be led by him. And also when I pray, it comes across that to me, I relate more to him as that person that I can cling to. And that he's been so faithful. I've got like stories and stories and stories of how every time when I not that I doubt, but because sometimes I can't get into that tune that he's my father, he immediately yanks me in and shows me that this is what I can do for you as a father. I always get that, oh, by the way, he's my dad, you know. I really battle with that personally. But he has proven to me over and over and over again.
But I think there are times where it's just like, really, Leanne, he's done so much for you before. Why would he not do it again? So I don't think you're alone in that.
When I doubt, like he comes through so, and sometimes you pray and you're like, Lord Jesus, stop! I mean, you've been blessing me. Like, go to the other kids now, really? I get like that sometimes, and it's a beautiful place to be. You know, in his presence and being his daughter. Once my mind is there, then I realize this is amazing. You know, it's awesome. It's an awesome place to be at.
This is amazing. Polisa, thank you so much for joining us on screen this morning as part of the link. We so value what you bring to our community. We really do. And thank you for stepping up to leadership as well. I think it's so good to see, you know, in this world, women who are actually prepared to step up and lead. And so thank you for being a part of our team. It really is wonderful to have you.
Yeah, so I'm saying to other people out there, never pray that God please use me, because he will.
He will.
He will. And he will put you in the most uncomfortable position to peel you off and reveal who you are to him.
Yes, indeed.
And you get to learn so much about who you are. Right. Anyway, it's a privilege. It's an honor. Thank you.
Yes.
To everyone.
Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. See you.
You too.
So, so that's it for the link this morning. Jean, thank you so much for the compliment for Polisa. She says, "I love your smile." And welcome to the Kiwis as well, John and Bessie Kiwi tuning in. Don't forget that our service starts at 9. We go live probably at about 5 to 9, just to say good morning again to those who might have missed the link this morning. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Don't forget, happy Father's Day to the dads and the uncles and the grandpas and the stepdads, everybody else who plays a father role in the lives of our children. And so thank you to you. Have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. We'll see you just now at our 9 a.m. service. Have a great night.